Hello, Professor. After taking this assessment for this week, I definitely want to focus on one category that I scored the lowest in. It was the emotional stability score. I actually scored that an 8. All the other ones are in the high category, just above where the point starts, but it's definitely in the high. So I will be definitely working on those, but I want to focus on the emotional stability score since that is definitely my lowest score, where I scored an 8. The reason why I believe I do that is because I tend to put myself in a situation where, um, since I am very competitive, I want to win, and that probably has a lot of uh, that probably is something that tends to hold me back. I would say because of the fact that I'm trying to do maybe everything at once, or maybe trying to take on too much on my own part. Trying to carry the team, if that makes sense. So I definitely want to make sure I focus on that one. Even though the other ones are important, I did tend to score a little bit higher in those. This one is the one that actually raises not red flags, but definitely puts me in a situation to understand where I actually need to grow. My plan for this is to make sure my specific goal is to make sure that I improve my emotional stability. I enhance emotional regulation and resilience is the objective. Like I said, I currently score a 8, and I'm going to continue to take the assessment score every 30 days. I think 30 days is something that can assist me in maybe placing a more accurate score. Anything sooner than the 30 days is probably moot. I think 30 days is a good starting point. I would probably increase it maybe as I see progress, but to begin with, 30 days seems to be like a good starting point. If after 6 months I don't see any changes or very minimal change, I will want to change up the plan, just to see if something else works better in getting me into that situation where I want to make sure that this specific category improves. My target score is to at least come to an even score with the rest of the categories. So my target score after 6 months is to score a 12, and I'll just be doing that assessment every month, to make sure that I'm actually improving and making the corrections in any way that I see might get me to that point that I want to make sure I get to. I want to make sure I practice mindfulness, mediation about 20 minutes a day. Like I said, I'm very competitive. I want to make sure that I tend to relax. Although I am pretty well in delegation, I don't see a problem with that. I think I maintain my team or even family at that. I try to provide them the necessary items that they may need to be successful. So I don't think I have a delegation problem. It's more of an emotional problem, emotional area that I would need to improve at. And for business, like I said, it's just because that's my nature. I just want to make sure that I place myself in a situation where I can gather uh, W's, gather wins. Um, Definitely doing these doing these exercises will probably get me to relax more and not ease up on it too much, but making sure that at least I become more of a balanced manager or leader, which is ultimately my goal. The relevant is that by improving my emotional stability, it can assist me with my overall well being. It can also assist in making sure that I provide my team and business with the best possible outcome. That's definitely something that I would want to work. What good is it if I try to get better in certain situations, but if it's not gonna progress to something that's beneficial for not only me, but the people surrounding me, the best possible outcome. That's just the way I see it. Like I said, I'm gonna be giving myself the assessment at the end of the 30 days to see if there's any improvements and make necessary corrections. Something I have in my head right now that I start might not be working, so I might need to change the plan as I see uh, fit needed for improvement. But definitely that 6 month mark is what I'm shooting for to make sure that I'm actually progressing towards the right direction. Um, this new insight definitely has helped me because it provides me with information or at least the insight of what I actually lack um, in order to get to the situation, to get to the actual goal that I want. It also pointed other necessary skills that I may be willing to look at to just try to bring everything together and just making sure that my career path and my personal path is actually going into the right directions. It definitely has provided me with a great guidance and actually how to start. Um, this is something that wasn't too much in my mind, even though I know that I probably have to work on the emotional part of myself, but definitely is a puts a spotlight, I should say. It puts a spotlight and basically puts me in a place where I definitely need to understand how and when to to start this. And I'm glad I took this test to because it did provide me with a great deal of information in order to make sure that I develop into what I want to.